It's Lou Levine, the Rutgers gymnastics coach. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
I tell you what, tell us a little bit about gymnastics. Your sixth season now with the program, third as the head coach, getting ready for the season to start in January. So right now this is kind of pre-season, sort of?
It is. It's pre-season. We're actually just starting to ramp up doing routines and trying to start working on those things that'll help us be in the best shape we can to start season and be able to really focus on all the little things.
You know, one thing I've learned through the years is you really have to be strong to pull your own weight and get up on one of those any type of physical activity where you're using your body and pulling your body. So these girls are pretty strong at this age, aren't they?
Absolutely. I'd put up our girls' strength pound for pound against these guys who are going to be playing out here today. So
how is it? How do you develop that strength, or is just they just build it up through the years?
It's a combination of they've built it up throughout their careers in gymnastics, and we do a pretty big 5 hours a week of strength and conditioning on top of our just what naturally happens with the day-to-day stuff. This year we actually have a new strength and conditioning coach, and she really has amped up the intensity for our girls, and it's really been paying off dividends so far.
Now, we had the swimming and diving coach on before, and Phil Spinella talked about the hours that the girls spend in the pool, the dedication to it, and it's really true in any sport, but I think especially in a sport like that, gymnastics, an individual sport where you can't rely on a teammate to kind of bail you out of a play, perhaps, like you could in football. You miss a tackle, someone else does. There's nobody to do that in gymnastics, is there?
Yeah, you're up there by yourself. Your teammates are there, and they're cheering for you, and they can give you that little extra boost. But for the most part, you're out there, you're performing, and it's different than some of those team sports where you have your backup who can step up. But with gymnastics, once you start, it's yours. There's nobody to step in there for you.
Exactly. Now, team captains recently selected as well. Tell us some of the names, some of the leaders on your team. This is all about you getting them some pubs. So tell us.
Absolutely.
Tell us
so
who's on
we
your
just
team
recently
here.
voted 3 captains. They are redshirt junior Luisa Leal, who's a Colombian national team member. Our top returning all-arounder just missed making NCAA championships by a .05 last year. Alexis Gunzelman, who also qualified to NCAA regionals last year as an all-arounder. And then fifth-year senior Jenna Zito, who's coming back off of an Achilles tendon injury, but is right on track to be ready for the start of season.
Now, I know that I guess some of the meets, I guess, what you have on, they're on the RVision, right?
They are. Every year, at least one of our meets, our senior meet usually is on, which is one of our more exciting meets. It's our last home meet of the year. This year it'll be March 8th, and it's obviously it's an exciting time for the girls, and obviously it's an opportunity for them to be seen outside just the gym.
You probably don't even need that too much because you get a lot of people coming to these meets, from what I understand. You at the Livingston gym?
We're at the Livingston Recreation Center right now, and yeah, we packed the place. At one of our meets last year, hopefully the fire people aren't around, but we had about 5 people deep standing out, watching the meet. Really exciting. Obviously, it brings a whole lot of energy that way, and so it's a great thing, and definitely a good experience for the girls. It's
a popular sport, and obviously we see the interest in it when the Olympics come around, the Summer Olympics, when the Olympics come around every few years. What about, does it translate into people coming out and watching and being into it? Do you see a bump every few years after the Olympics?
You do from a participation standpoint. I think from a fan standpoint, I think the fans are there.
Okay.
Obviously, as the team has gotten better and more competitive and started throwing higher, more exciting stuff, we have fans that are like, they get pulled in more and more, and then they bring their friends, and that's how we get to the point where we are.
What's the state of it here in New Jersey, in the high schools and all?
There is high school gymnastics. There isn't high school gymnastics in a whole lot of places, but at the club level, which is really where most of our kids come from, it's at an all-time high. That's where you do see the ups and downs a little bit. You get to see it huge boom
so it's
right
less
after the
recruiting
Olympics.
in high schools. It's more going at these clubs.
It is. I think I step into high school once a year. I go to New Jersey High School States, and other than
Really?
that, it's all a private club for recruiting.
So it's very different from any other sport then. in that
It is very
sense.
different from most. I think some of the other individual sports are that way a little bit, but absolutely, it's a, high school teams is a great atmosphere for kids to kind of learn how to compete as a team, because in the club programs they're doing it mainly as an individual. But overall, the level is just way higher in the club programs than it is in the high
Is it
schools.
like that nationwide, or is that just in New Jersey?
No, that's a nationwide
Okay.
thing. It's gymnastics is really run on as a club level than it is a high school level thing.
All right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
very
much for
much.
taking some time. Lou Levine, gymnastics
Good
coach.
luck to you.
Thank you.